Get some light. I have not been 100%. I'm sure everybody can probably see that in my face. Um, Hang on. Okay. Ooh, I got to adjust this. There we go. That way my phone can charge. And you can probably hear it in my voice too. I'm going to take a moment and just let others join. I was just live on Instagram and I was guided to come live here and bring through this is very specific to my templates and bring through as much as I can bring through at this point. I'm trying to see what I'm able to bring through. Whew. I've been going through a lot of upgrades. I'm It's interesting. Hello, Miss Candace. It's interesting. I realized in the Instagram live, I was like, at first I was feeling like, oh, I'm going to repeat some things. And then I realized what I share in my group space, I haven't shared a lot of that with the greater collective. And so, yeah. So in just a moment, I'm going to share some aspects of what's happening with these sensations, the physical body sensations. And hello, Miss Becca. If any of you would like to check out the live on Instagram, please do. And it is through my handle AOAC Ein, AOAC period Ein. Or AOAC period, yeah, AOAC period Ein. And I would yeah, I'm bringing through on here. I planned to bring through something a little this on Instagram, but the platform of Instagram energetically it feels I can feel the difference, and so I bring through similar on Instagram, and sometimes I'll link that into here, but it's a slightly different energetic platform, and so I was guided to bring through this here. Usually those that dial into YouTube are planning to listen for a longer period of time than those on Instagram. Usually Instagram it's like they just want a few minutes. They don't want longer. And so when something is at a greater depth, a greater capacity, I'll bring it through on here. And also had a beautiful sister join me on Instagram for that channeling. So it actually ended up being more of just channeled guidance instead of the template activation, which again, I'm not really for sure the depth at which I'm going to be able to do it. I have a potentiality of some one-on-ones coming up, and I'm feeling of can I do, can I bring them through simply because there's so much that comes through in a one-on-one, and I'm I'm moving into a higher dimensionality of consciousness for myself, and so that everything in the physical is catching up and opening up, and these new layers that have been activated are actually able to now be experienced in the physical. And there's a lot that I have dropped into my group space. I am not yet sharing it with the greater collective, but I feel that I will at some point, and I say that for a reason. There is a level of consciousness that is necessary for receiving certain guidance, and the reason why is because channeled guidance is coming in on a frequency. Everything is frequency, and so we could all be accessing the same words or similar words, maybe not the same words but similar words, and you're going to bring it through on the frequencies that you're actually connected into, and I will bring it in on the frequencies that I'm connected into. Everything is about signature resonance. Now, those are very important words. Signature resonance, 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 resonance. Your signature resonance is where you are attuned. We can all, hello, Bella. My kitty cat usually never, she's gotten to where she's starting to come up more. Hello, Kiki. She normally doesn't, but she's starting to come up more when I'm out here. But that this is where you are attuned, so where you're activated, and the messages that were coming through on Instagram, I'm going to bring some of that in here, but not all of it. Like I said, you guys can dial in there and check that out, so I'm not repetitive. But it is important in understanding that your signature resonance, yes, and channel, and actually, you know what? Yeah, you do. Every channel, this is where I want to expand on your clarity there. Channel simply means your pillar of light. So whatever you express, you are channeling. Everyone, now there's different layers and levels to channeling. A lot of people will channel from within within the clairs, within the psyche or the psychic aspect, and through what's coming in telepathically. Now that's 5555. That's powerful, but when we're channeling from what's coming in telepathically, we got to be very careful about that, because we still have a very, very convoluted third eye. The collective psyche, even though we can access the information in the libraries of information, we have to be very, very careful, because a lot of people are still projecting through the third eye. So this means, as we begin to access our all-knowing self is in the presence of what's here now. And it does not force what needs to be heard. It does not force what is known. It's simply when it is nudged to bring it through, it will step through. The light is very gentle in that way. And everyone is always, let me restate this. If you are being activated within your templates of higher dimensional embodiment, you are channeling through a pillar of light. So I think there is an understanding through a lot that we channel certain entities, right? That's the point of channeling, absolutely. But even when channel certain entities, the biggest thing that I've learned along the way, that when I channel, I'm channeling myself. Everything that I channel is directly connected through my pillar of light. So when I'm always channeling. I'm never not channeling. As I'm speaking to you right now, I am channeling, because everything that I am speaking is coming from within my pillar of light. It is coming from within a presence of consciousness, a presence of embodiment, meaning everything that I am attuned to through my signature resonance is expressing through my channel of light right now. And everything that I have access to in regards to my levels of mastery, I am accessing right now. I stated in my Instagram channel, we are all ascended masters in one form. Yet at the same time, we don't need to get caught up on that, because it does not mean that you are powerful because you are an ascended master. It's just what every soul goes through. Every soul must master what it chooses to incarnate as, or the vessel that it chooses, the body that it chooses. It must master that density and that dimension. So we are all ascended. We've all ascended through different dimensions. However, the majority that are here right now, what's happening is they're accessing through the clairs, the all present information, and they're accessing through, you guys, I'm sorry about the plane that's going to be going overhead. Farmers are seeding their field, which is very interesting, because as I'm expressing here, I'm seeding light. We've all ascended in mastery, and yet, because we are able to access through the clairs, through the inner sight, we are also accessing, as stated, some projections of sight, which means as we are connecting in with everyone else's psychic abilities, this is why this is the era of illumination. This is why this is the era of infinite information, because nothing is hidden. But libraries of information and libraries of Akashic choice hold two different aspects: that of mastery, or that of just knowing for the sake of knowing. I'm clearing the field, if you guys will just bear with me for 1 second energetically. Calling in the ancient ones to anchor us into the 5th dimensional astral etheric for the receivership of this channeling to be gained through those who have the capacity to receive. Okay. So as an ascended master, you have ascended possibly this physical realm. This means that you have graduated and you have chosen to come back and be a teacher or a guide. If that is the case, then you will essentially walk in. You will not go through the levels of mastery that are required in terms of karma and trauma. These are why there are a lot of walk-ins that are happening right now. Walk-ins are usually either from 2 aspects, either because there is an opportunity for mastery in physical dimension, or because the physical dimension has already been mastered and there is not a necessity to go through the birthing process and the reincarnation process again, because once you master, the reincarnation process is not necessary. However, you can come back as a guide, you can come back as a teacher, as an ascended master of this realm. Now, for myself, I am a higher dimensional walk-in. I carry the blueprints of mastery from my monadic self. And I have chosen to come in and experience the higher dimensional aspect of higher self mastery through walking in and moving through those layers of incarnate, by taking on all the imprints and all the aspects of the previous soul's imprints and karmic implants, and transmuting those. If you give me a moment, my channel's opening up even more as I'm expressing. I'm anchoring everything in. Thank you, Bella. Bella is really assisting me right now. I have very deep Lyran, Avian, of course I am. Golden Avian, Blue Avian. I'm also Golden Diamond, Rainbow, Monadic, which is what's coming through today. Now, these are my rays of mastery. So let's go ahead and shift into that. I was going to go into a different direction, but my channel is expressing this direction. So was we're talking about mastery as an ascended master, this means you have ascended through the octaves of dimensionality. Dimensionality is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. The only reality that exists is consciousness. Consciousness is the one true reality, and all that you have ascended in dimensionality and in mastery, you access through your pillar of light. That which you have mastered through ascending in dimensionality, you can access through your pillar of light. However, it has to come online. You have to remember that you can access it, because that is a part of this realm. Even if you have ascended through mastery in the physical, you must still remember that you can access that. You must go through the forgetting and the remembering again. However, the veil will be so thin that you will not have a difficult time. For me, being a higher dimensional walk-in, as soon as I was ready to bring my channel through, as soon as my pillar of light was ready to be available for sacred service, I had access to everything. I knew what I was, and I began, but that doesn't mean that it makes it any easier. Actually, it makes it more difficult, because the human mind is built to deny and to turn away that which it doesn't understand, and therefore you must have you must be very solidified in your intuition, and you must trust that which you are receiving is true. Now, I also worked through what I will call it's a mastery of the false light. And this was because of choice. When you make a choice to connect with those that seek to continue to separate themselves through source, and this even means through being in a connection with another person, in order to master yourself in this realm, one of the requirements now, because we are now in the requirement of unity, which is a requirement to move into a higher dimensional form, you must be in unification with soul, your soul self. This is a unification of all aspects that you have denied and fragmented through fear, through shame, through guilt, through just not believing, choosing to believe. Choice is what? Choice either calls all your fragments together or it separates your fragments. And so that choice of honoring that consciousness is the one true reality. The choice in honoring that you are all, like, meaning you do not need anything outside of yourself. You do not need a partner. If you are meant to connect with a twin flame, that twin flame is still a part of your grouping, your soul grouping. So in truth, a twin flame brings its own level of unification for those that agreed upon that interconnection with self. But the highest form of mastery comes when those flames become one, meaning those avatars of self join within the pillar of light and are unified as a singular representation of self. Now, that is the highest point of mastery, and that is a return to one. We have different levels. We have a triad of return to oneness. Many in this realm are in what we will the return to one, level one, meaning this is their first return to oneness through fragmentation of self. So this is bringing you into your first level of mastery, which is a requirement to come into your higher self. Once that is obtained, then you can go into the return to oneness level 2, or return to oneness, the second of the triad, which is where all of those of the higher self grouping are reclaimed by the monad and become one and are ready for ascension into the monad. When all has been reclaimed by the monad, that is the triad. Now, it must be understood that many are becoming aware of the monad, but the monad, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are ready for monadic ascension. Majority here are being harvested for their first level of oneness in this realm. You must be willing to accept that having access to words limits. This is a realm where words have always limited, but yet words are also necessary and needed, because words express time. And words actually move through a filter of time. So everything is delivered much slower through words. But this is also how we receive in this realm. This is how we have chosen to receive. But we are shifting to where we are choosing to receive. And many, will go to this sub-level of receivership. Instead of receiving through pure frequency connection, they will receive through of speaking mind to mind. Now, that is a very powerful way to speak, but we must remember that mind to mind is also still not yet pure consciousness. When you exist in pure consciousness, so telepathy is still connected into the clairs. When we are in pure consciousness, we exist. Our communication is through vibration. It is not through words. And even in speaking clicks or tongues, which is an expression of communication. The highest point is just the presence of being. We communicate through vibration. We communicate through the rays. We communicate through our mastery. We have those that have mastered, those that are there to guide us through the rays of mastery, which is exactly what's happening here right now. This is why there are those here who hold ascended mastery, and specific rays are bringing those templates, are bringing those blueprints in, and everyone carries templates and blueprints, which must come online to offer the sacred service of their level of oneness within the realm of dimensionality and embodied consciousness. Embodied consciousness is embodied dimensionality. In order for you to access dimensionality, you must be able to embody the frequencies. So you have many layers of physicality that are being peeled open, that are being activated, that are opening and expanding. So we are going to move now into the activation point. Everything, well, technically, the whole time we've been speaking, activation has been happening, but we're going to move into another dimensionality of activation. I'm still undergoing, as you might not can hear it as much here, but in Instagram, I feel you could probably hear it more earlier. It's been opening up more and more as I myself am moving into a new level of mastery through my initiation. I'm moving through the second initiation with my group space. We are moving to the 9 pillars of consciousness, which are the 9 levels of initiation for dimensionality in the new world, in the new earth. And we move through these we move through the octaves of initiation, and it layers upon itself, giving us access to the full range of 5th dimension, 5th density through embodiment. And we bring all that we are in all points of mastery so that we can integrate, co-create, web our light together. And this gives us the opportunity to access many layers of remembrance, and brings in the beautiful crystallis of 5th dimension. It happens from within ourselves. And if you look at a diamond, if you look at a crystal, when the sun hits it, it's all the light's fragmented. It goes everywhere, but yet it's all a part of one beam. And instead of being fragmented through the mind, we are fractals of light and consciousness, and we are connected in through webs of our own light. And we have a web of our own light that reaches out and connects into different points in an upward spiral, if you will. And we move within our own web of consciousness and our own web of light, meeting ourselves at each point through choice. Your templates are light. Your templates of light are literally the most important thing that must be accessed. Your templates are your layers of consciousness, the layers of remembrance that you hold, that you are as an embodied level of mastery. But also, a lot of these templates are now accessible through other masters that you agreed to receive through, so that you could gain that level of mastery while you are in this realm. And so this is why it's very important to honor those agreements and to step in with those that hold a higher point of mastery. Do not feel that it's because someone is higher than you or greater than you. They just hold an aspect of mastery that you agreed to attain. And you agree this would happen in this realm, whether it's in this realm or it's in another realm. You must always exchange with a master. Always. There are those there to guide you. How can one guide if they have not experienced it themselves? Do not be turned away, because you're an ascended master as well, but you're an ascended master who has also agreed to receive from another ascended master of a higher realm of consciousness. And so this is it's all playing a role so that we can layer upon ourselves and bring ourselves into a higher point of accessibility from within these dimensionalities of consciousness, so that we can embody more. So we have those guides and those teachers that are there in the unseen. We also have them here in the seen. I myself, I will declare that which I am, and I am here to bring through my monadic mastery of self, my templates, Sasha Mara, Inaya, and Aoasi. That's my triad. Let us move now into the activation. Bella, come here, Kiki. Are you going to hold some? Will you please hold the Earth Star? Thank you, my dear. Calling in the prism of Lyra Sisterhood. Kumak ay asatete yamachiaka. Ay sukoto to 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 to. I invite you to drop into the heart space, drop into the feeling. I would invite you to witness yourself solely through feeling. Allow yourself to be witnessed from within your pillar of light, from within your own channel of light. There you are witnessed by me. There you are witnessed by all. This is how we are truly witnessed, is by being in the presence of our light. By understanding and accepting that we are that which we are. If we attempt to deny that which we are, to attempt to be that which someone else is, then we are simply denying and separating ourselves from self. Yes, we are the all-knowing, but we are only the all-knowing through mastery, and we are only the all-knowing through activation of remembrance. How can you know that which you know? How can you be that which you be if you have not come into the frequencies, into the understanding through experiencing yourself in vibration? Your ability to express through your throat chakra is your ability to acknowledge your truth. The ability to express that which you are through vibration. Words are very limited. So we are going to now invite you to experience yourself through vibration and frequency. Too many words, too many words, too many words. Outside of this realm, there are no words. Outside of this realm, there is not the emotional range that the human mind identifies with. Even unconditional love is an identification. That which is infinite has no identification. That which is accessible through the heart star, through the gateway of self, is simply the accessibility of self through the hall of mirrors. It is unconditional because it is itself in all forms. But we are inviting you to let go of the word love, because love is still an identification of energy, and in its purest form at 0 point, energy has no identification. It is all. Dishkutina. Law of oneness, the primal distortion of source, Ishwatiya, is knowing the self in all, but only as all, that which has been mastered, Indak and return to oneness. Inarushkia natuta. Suktuk suktuk suktuk. As you drop into feeling, as you drop into the sensations and the vibrations, we extend and open the pillar of light for receivership of your own frequencies and allowing you to receive the octaves, allowing you to receive that which is of your rays of mastery. Inuria Suteshia, Manuria Siakuta. In order for you to know that which is yours, you must be in your pillar of light, your sacred, Inisata, sovereign expression. Many are going to think they are connected into certain rays simply because they are exchanging with that ray. Jandara, it is very important that you allow yourself to be in your pillar of light, even outside of this transmission, so that you are not picking up on that which is being expressed and shared and that which is being acknowledged through the exchange. In sovereignty, all is known, that which is the self. Inaru ushkiatia sutai. Inshutai shinatai ku a ku a ku a ku a. Dropping into the heart. Asking Prism of Lyra Sisterhood to anchor into the Earth Star and into the Soul Star. We will move through and activate each of the major star portals. Yuk Shina coming into the Earth Star. Shina no 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 Turia Dina Madak Erik Madak Erik Madak Erik Madak Erik Utay. Oh ah. Requesting all guides to please present themselves that are present to the Earth Star. Earth Mothers, Earth Fathers, Kuan Yin, Turia Sata, and Kuan Yin's Dragon, Indari Sute, Arik Ush Kiatak Nak Urikat. What I would I shukua 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 inanana tushia tata inatushia tata tata inatushia tata tata unia turki tukua. In this exchange, I am inviting you to receive through the blueprints and the templates that are expressed through my signature resonance, activating that signature resonance through your templates, through your pillar, and sharing in those frequencies of mastery. And allowing you to step into those frequencies of remembrance that are here and accessible through your pillar of mastery. Please declare I accept, I receive. Now transmitting frequency through the Earth Star. Asking the Ancient Ones to please anchor us into the light magnetic axonial. Shina Zuta. Your body may be feeling called to move involuntarily. Please allow it. It is coming into its lines of connection to receive itself through those frequencies of light magnetic, which are a necessity for the astral etheric and higher dimensional embodiment. Surrender your form, surrender yourself, allowing your molecules to rearrange in the plasmic formation necessary to receive the frequencies of embodiment. And as this is happening, we'll move up into the heart star. Day u nay Inorishiaku, niaku, niaku, niaku. Ooh, na 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 gua. ECD na 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 sote sote sote. Makoshiti a makoshiti a makoshiti a. Coming into the final anchor point. Nadia sote a connecting into the soul star. Tu 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 tu. In the car. C T T T T T T T T T T so cool. Ooh, tick 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 tick. Kid, so cool. Ina. My throat chakra is still expanding. Wood, kina. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yana. Mashika Tina su tu 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 tu. Now in the presence of the light magnetic astral etheric. Now we will bring to the signature magnetic light frequencies of our rainbow, golden, diamond, Seraphim mastery. Tika, 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 ad. Ook, 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 ook. Connecting into the octaves, calling in tuning forks, both planetary, astral, etheric, cosmic, astral, etheric, universal, astral, etheric. Ishodania. Kiatata. Calling in crystalline compounds from the fifth dimensional astral etheric. Connecting all octaves into the crystalline compounds. It's so very interesting when I enter the astral etheric and I come into my light magnetic beingness. Everything in physical form is so tiny to me. When I open my eyes, I'm always surprised at how much larger it seems through my vision, because the vision of the physical is much different than the vision of consciousness. The molecular that I experience through my vision of consciousness is very, very small. It plays a role, but the role is much smaller. Ha ku hian kya kut a. And I am just feeling into all tones of connection. Thank you so much, Bella, for holding these astral etheric lines. Calling in all guides for the soul star, for the quantum light, Andromedan star mothers, Kotaki Shina. Avalonian, and I heard Astrid. Ikuta Shindak Isika. Sisters of the Astrid grid, Urta. Shinenki kya 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 kya. Archia sote shinar kushya dia dia. Had ya kuhi ha. Calling in all lines, all octaves of the golden, diamond, rainbow, connecting these in through the astral etheric grid points. asking assistance in anchoring from the ancient ones. Opening my channel. Connecting into all ranges. Each at oot at oot at eat at ash gut at mat at mat at eat eat si na 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 shotina suka yasina ya suka shinaka ya ni su ti da. All anchor points are connected and complete. When this happens, I feel like I can feel my wings, or it feels like there are multiple hands sticking from my wing space, but they're waves of light where I've connected into the grids. Anchoring this into the Earth Star, anchoring this into the Sun Star. Beginning the ranges of octave activation. Opening and receiving, please declare, I accept, I receive. All availability of receivership is based on the ranges of octaves that you are able to uphold through your level of embodiment and your levels of consciousness. Yes, kutashkita, kutashkita, kurtatika tak ash kutashkina, 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 yasuta, bringing each into the highest frequency of sovereignty. Kushina, yasia, kuti, sutina, na 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 na, tu. Calling each into their connection point of consciousness. Yad, hid, had, hid, yad, hid, rad, hid, yad, hid, rad, hid, yad, hid, rad, hid, yad, hid, rad, hid, kutushina, sikia shutina, mad, quad, hina sukochi. Connecting in the wings. God, eat, God, eat, God. Ukina sukoshina. Tikinia sukota da. Shiki ha sata. Kurku, eat, God, eat. Yad hina, yad he, bad he, yad he, bad he, yad. Kina sikia sotashina. And we invite you to anchor into the frequencies, allowing yourself to flow in tone and tune and vibration. Ya sikina, finding yourself in the currents of light. Kutina, 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 anchoring you into the fountain of eternal oneness. Inatushki, na, tina, na, na. opening up the central channel, Yasikina, for receivership of self and highest I am. Utikina matash utas. I call in now my sisters from within the Council of Four, the Seraphim Circle. Marikushia. Yashwat Yatina Sukushina. And as we express as one voice, we will move in frequency, we will move in octave, and we will call forth the Council of Nine to assist. We feel the Council of Nine will be able to further assist in the anchoring and the grounding as we move through the channel of God Source Oneness. Kitash, kutash, kutash, kutash. Ad, 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 yas, hid, ad, kyod ni sute. Kushina, ina, kod, hi, allowing the spinal cord to open. Ina suya sina ikuta, activating the rays of light tushkiana that are held within the fluids. Kashunia sadai, allowing these kutai ako to come forth ina shutai and be recognized through the awareness. Aiku ina sina kutututu. Ina turkia tia tuta, china turia ti 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 suna. As we are calling each of you now through these octaves, we are actually calling you on a soul level to come into a higher foundation of your I am. Gashina sutai. By declaring I accept, I receive, you answer the call and you anchor into the choice of receivership. Each wave of light that is expressed is calling you into that anchor point, into that level of consciousness, so that you may view yourself through the feeling, through the vibration, through the sound, through the octaves. Koshina sina tuchiki kuta tiki ad kotina shinia wood kuta tiki kuta. The seven Hathors are stepping forward to join and connect in with each of you. Allow the seven Hathors to guide you through the initiation of these lines, these currents. They will be guiding from the central pillar, and you will feel them in your spinal column. Dia 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 ku 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 dia dia tushina kushina kutari ikuta isati na arshi a kut a kut a kut a kut a tini a suta e u a sutik a tuta a kinak a sutak a in a sunat what Ushikina sata iha sukina ina kut ku ash eat uri ina sutai we build the light at we build the light at inak ashuki ut at yun Kushinana kutak ik gosh ut at upon the building of light we anchor into that temple which is constructed through the expression of the currents of the rays that are mastered. Kutai I shutina. Huyanaya shutina. Opening the wing space in preparation for each to rise in the pillar. Unlocking deeper levels of remembrance. Allowing you to access these versions of self that you are connected into in every infinite eternal now. Kushina sikiakuta shinikiataka suturkura ena. Utis us as these waves of light are flowing from within. What do you feel? What do you experience? What do you see through feeling? And as if you were a blind person and you had no physical sight. We invite you to experience through the sensation through touch and sound which allows you to see yourself in the truth of what you are without that vision that is projected. Shina, Shina, Shotida, Dina, Kina tut, Ina tut. Mashina Koda. Ut, shtik, Anchored through the Earth star, we rise in waves. We are the Council of Nine. And we are here to assist in grounding these currents. Each of us holding a mastery in sound, vibration, light. We are those of the Order of Melchizedek. Order Melchizedek are builders. Many are known in this realm in the physical form as we incarnated as master builders. So we assisted in the pyramids. The Templars, we are known. And we have other names of the master builder lineage. But in this form, we were separate, serving in those secret societies. For the service was then to bring in the lines of geometric form in the density. We now bring it through in vibration, sound, and light. And unification as one voice. The seven Hathors will now step in. Yasakatai. Uy, shitina, sikin, what, ya, hi, ya, shitiki, what, ya, suya, tukina, rka, sa, ya, toya, ya, toya, koi, what, tu, inaku. Seven Hathors are creating a spherical grid around the heart star. We will be expressing from our blueprint of Sashamara, the template of Seraphim, the one voice of the Council of Four. Pulling us up an octave, Rukuta. Giving light, Mashutinia. Giving movement to that which was built in the foundation. Connecting into each of the sounds, connecting into each of the rays. Calling this into one form of light waves. Gitarkina, shotina, yesikia, kutina, shotina, 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 suturki, as, hat, kutatatata. Kushinana sutata. Kuti ki a shutinak a ruk ushinak a at ushina sutashina kud at kuti yad ta 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 shu here and pulling it up from the heart star, calling it up to the soul star. Just like taking a thread of rainbow currents and weaving it through each of the connection points. We web the sounds. We weave the tapestry of sound. Light, frequencies, vibration. Shikia tarkata shia kurkia. In the kurkitia, suktak iturk et aish, kutak iturk ait, kutak iturk ait, turk it ait, kut it ark. Rising into your highest I am, and anchoring into the soul star. Kutak ash, kutak ash, kutak ash. Calling everyone into their purest vision of the third eye, crown of consciousness. Feeling that magnetic pull upwards. Feeling as your wings open and expand, feeling as your heart is bursting with vibration and frequency. Feeling as the presence of your higher self, your highest I am, is anchoring in through the crown and the third eye, opening up and expanding the pillar of light. Using sound, using frequency, using light to open and expand the senses. And bringing the self into the awareness of consciousness, where the self may experience the self free from form, but fully in the presence of embodied light. And expanding and opening from Earth Star to Soul Star. from the activated Magi Grail, from the activated presence of unified masculine feminine. Yet, Hosina, hot, 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 eat, wood, ha, wood, shinado, shiak, jutatak, itak, having the order of Melchizedek. Ruk, scoot, eat, urk, at, wood, eat, urk, ut, at, Seven Hathors. Gashiktik aria siniotoshia o. My shuti sianai ha hiakoshi. Hi soteshi. What ashina. Washina. Turikia. Council of Four. Myself, Seraphim, and three sisters of the Seraphim order. Bringing in the frequencies of golden order. If you have been expressing light, if you have been expressing your codes, please take a moment and rest in the vibration, rest in the frequency, rest in the presence, and feel this as it is expanding your spinal column. You're probably feeling vibration in the mouth, in the jaw, in the throat chakra, in the crown. Moving all the way down the spinal column and anchoring through the Earth Star, giving your roots a greater capacity to receive and to offer. And we will finalize this transmission by sealing all that has been offered through this pillar of light. We would invite you to please do some tapping. We feel that there is some energy present where there is either projection happening or an inability to receive through the higher points of the channel. So please allow yourself to surrender, to do some tapping. I feel that many have moved, but maybe not have fully connected in the higher aspects of self. So please just open this up. Surrendering. Surrendering fully to the receivership of your channel. Thank you. If you will join me, we will begin to seal the grids and seal these connection points. Declaring that all that has been received and all that has been accepted is brought through to anchor into and come through your signature resonance. These golden diamond rainbow lines of mastery provide an opportunity for you to receive yourself in expanded form. Please remember that your remembrance is based on your ability to stand in your sovereignty, to accept that which has been mastered and that which has yet to be mastered. And calling in all frequencies of self that are here to provide the sealing. These are imprints of pure order. Calling for a sealing at the Earth Star, calling for a sealing at the Heart Star, calling for a sealing at the Soul Star. Mediatukli ashukutik ark at ark at ark We are in the presence of our fully activated self. All has been activated. All is complete. And so it is. So just please allow yourself to begin to come back. There were many connection points, and the connection points that I was feeling were coming from the heart out like this. So we were moving energetically, connecting into different points of the astral etheric, coming back, connecting, coming back in, connecting, coming back in. So moving through different waves of light, different octaves, different currents, and receiving different sounds, different points of what I know to be building or geometric, using, having sound, having vibration, having the actual vibration of physical, which creates a specific vibration, having the light frequencies, the octaves, and the expression creates a specific frequency and vibration. Actually, it creates a specific vibration. And so there was a lot happening, and I'm feeling, thank you for your presence, Becca. I am feeling these connection points moving, Again, once again, opening up crown, opening up third eye, opening up higher heart, allowing there to be an expansion of the inner channel, the inner pillar, allowing you to come into a higher resonance of your signature self. Okay. I want it to be, we need it to be understood that these lines are offered from our monadic mastery. The golden lines are actually I am being requested being requested not to go into that right now. Understand that the golden lines are very, very pure lines. They do not, again, embody in physical form. If you have had many incarnations here, then you will not bring you will bring through that octave as a blueprint of consciousness, not as an incarnate mastery. It will be a mastery of blueprint of octave expression. Inakutia the golden diamond, or are the pure forms of oneness, a range of monadic mastery that come in as walk-ins. They come in as ranges of consciousness that are received through a channel that has a triadic connection. As that level of mastery gives an opportunity for the wide ranges, these octaves are extremely, extremely large. And they must be received through a triadic connection, or else they do not have an ability to come in. And there is an opportunity. And the reason why we have those triadic masters, such as myself and others, in the presence and bringing this through as higher dimensional walk-ins, is for the ability to bring these diamond activations online through that level of mastery. Everyone carries diamond DNA. And what this means is it gives you access to your all-knowing self. This is crystalline. And it allows you to come into the remembrance of your mastered self. We have, I'm being asked to clarify something really quickly. We have golden mastery monadic, and then we have golden ray. We have golden ray monadic mastery. We have golden ray higher self. They're just different ranges. And they want to, I was asked to make that clarification, that distinction, that within each and every ray, you have the highest level of mastery, which is the monad, and then you have those different ranges of octaves between the lowest range of dimensional consciousness and the highest range. So the highest range of mastery in the channel, the conduicy of golden diamond would be that of monadic. Please honor that which you have mastered. Please do not deny yourself what you have mastered. If you covet that which someone else has mastered simply because you find resonance, please keep in heart that resonance can be found through frequency in which you are receiving, because you recognize yourself as a part of all that is. This is why sovereignty is so important. We all have that which has been mastered, and although we are a part of all that is, That which has been mastered and that which is part of our evolutionary journey must be understood, acknowledged, and accepted. And that way we do not separate ourselves from the unification of ourself. Do not covet what someone else brings through because you feel the power of it. Feel the power of it. Allow it to resonate and find that which is yours within it. That way you do not attach yourself to that which is powerful simply for the sake of power. This has been a major distortion in this realm of will and power. The sovereign free will choice, which has been given and granted and bestowed by source for this incarnate cycle in this realm, for each incarnate cycle in this realm, through that which has been mastered. The sovereign free will choice has been distorted through the desire to covet, the will to have, where one covets and wills themselves to be something other than what they are, simply because they say, if I express that which is expressed here, I can express it better, or I can show it better, or I can be it better. It is not about being better. It is about being in the presence of that which you are, in the frequency of that which you have been activated within, which is your signature resonance. That is where your power resides. Your power resides in that which you are, and no one carries that frequency. If you desire and covet and attempt to attach yourself to something that is brought through another simply for the sake of projecting it back to the collective, it is felt. I want that to be known. When you bring yourself into someone else's light, like your light comes into connection with someone else's light, but if for the sake of projecting, it is felt. That which is pure is felt, and that which is projected is felt. Please allow yourself to honor that which you are. This is so very beautiful. Thank you, my dear sisters, for sharing. Thank you. And I do feel, Andrea, that that is a beautiful reflection of what is coming through. And I want to provide further clarity that your blueprints are your blueprints. I feel what was happening and what you are receiving is you are transcending. You are transcending an octave. You are moving from one layer of divine blueprint into another because you are ready to receive yourself in a higher octave of yourself. Please, 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 please allow yourself to receive from those that have mastered frequencies of initiation. The biggest thing that has been coming through my channel, and I know I express this a lot. Initiation. Initiation is a process. Many people are attempting to access all the information that is coming through, and then they are saying, I am initiated because I know this is happening now. That is not initiation. Initiation is going through the process, however long it takes, through the dimension of time in this realm, through the density of time in this realm. You move through the initiation of that octave of frequency, and whatever is here now through that octave is what you are meant to be moving through. That is a mastery of light. Simultaneously, your mastery of human is in motion. So this is what happens in my group space. And I feel that others, I hope that others are bringing this through as well, but I would like each and every one of you to sit with this and to really be in the presence of this awareness of initiations of consciousness is what we are meant to be moving through, especially if you know that you are meant to be a part of a council of New Earth. If you are meant to be a part of a council and you feel that you are meant to be initiated into the lines of mastery from those who have triadic and carry the triadic convergence. I have notes going back years in regards, and I will share that with those that I am exchanging with in my group space and one-on-ones. But these go back years, speaking about the templates that I carry and that which I assist others in stepping into or activating, or others that feel the resonance of that and know that they are meant to be remembering the levels of mastery through higher self and initiation into monad. And those are the ones that are leading these councils of New Earth. The reason why is because the ones that are able to carry the highest frequency are the ones that are integrating that basically the planetary Akash and assisting in bringing that online. There are layers. Everyone plays a part. Everyone has a role, and everyone's role is absolutely necessary and needed. I have realized that my main role is to assist those leaders of shall we say, planetary, collective and planetary scale. Those that feel that they carry the larger blueprints, those that can carry the capacity of such initiations. If you feel called, if that feels resonant, please reach out. What I guide others in moving through is not only your soul reclamation and integration. It is not just that. You will go through all levels and layers of your Akashic remembrance through these activations. You will access every aspect of yourself that is necessary and needed for you. You will remember each and every level of mastery. You will come into the ranges of your blueprints and the ranges of your templates. Everything that you need is available through these initiations. I move through it with you. Although I am an ascended master, as you are an ascended master, and I carry the triadic template, I must also move through the initiation along with those that move through the initiation, and I am guided to bring through the initiation. That is the council, right? I guide, I open up, we all come together, we move through in a state of unity consciousness. So through the one choice, we are answering the one choice. Choice is the it is the blueprint of consciousness. Choice is the blueprint of consciousness. So when you choose to step into such a receivership and you choose to anchor yourself there with all those, with everyone else, whether it's 2, whether it's 200, when you choose to answer that call and you answer that choice, you anchor yourself in and you agree that you are not only going to step into your role in every now moment, but you are stepping into the mastery that is required of you to be able to bring through those frequencies of mastery for the collective, because everything is based on mastery, you guys. Everything is. You cannot bring through that which you have not mastered. You cannot bring through that which you have not been initiated into, because how would you know it if you don't understand it? And you only understand it through being it, by being in the experience of it. So as we are absolutely playing our roles and bringing that in, I want everyone to understand that in order for you to be in the presence of all that you are in your all-knowing self, you must answer the call. And it's interesting. It's very interesting. This is something that I could honestly sit here and explain all day, or not explain, I could express all day. But I am continuously asked to put the call out simply because when it hits with those that it is meant to hit with, and they're ready to step into that choice point carries a frequency, a vibration of your signature resonance. It is going to ask all of you. It is going to say, all of you is here. Can you meet yourself in all that you are, in your all-knowing self? Not all-knowing through information, but all-knowing through the presence of your being. Everything that you have agreed to master and everything that you have mastered. Can you step into and can you accept that? And if you say, yes, I can, then we are all joined in unity consciousness and we are all together. My third eye is just like, whoo, right now. Oh my goodness, it's opening up so much. Ugh, I just saw 3 of myself. And I know I say this, but it must be stated again. There are different levels to knowing, and there's different levels to understanding. You understand and know through the initiation of frequency. Frequency carries the information. If you are consistently declaring what you know through the information you receive, through the telepathy of the mind, then you still need to rise into the initiation of embodiment. There are different layers, and everyone, there are those that are not going to moving into that highest level of mastery just yet. But those of you that feel that you're meant to, that are here to come into the fullness of mastery of 5D, fifth dimension, fifth density, this is your call. There must be the initiations. You must be able to move through the different initiations of consciousness. You must be able to bring through the different layers of consciousness, because that you are the presence, you are the anchor point of those ranges of consciousness. And that way others can come into your field, into your pillar, and they can remember that they too have access to those ranges of consciousness. Because everyone that is in this realm is in this realm under a layer of forgetting. Even if you're a starseed, regardless of your level of mastery, everyone has forgotten. And in order for you to be activated into remembrance, you must come into ranges of frequency, which give you access to those infinite libraries of remembrance, which that's why you come into receivership of transmissions such as this and others. I declare, very courageously, but not through ego. I understand what I am because I experience what I am, because I accept what I am, because I feel what I am. That is how I stand in my light and express. And I invite each and every one of you to do the same. To not feel that because one person expresses and declares their light and their truth, that somehow you are not in that expression too. I can only express for myself. I cannot express for you. It is not my role. That is not my purpose to tell you what you are. You know what you are. But how can you know what you are if you have not taken an opportunity to come into the layers of remembrance, which give you access to that? And that happens through consciousness. It does not happen through the psyche. It does not happen through the mind. The mind does have access to the Akashic choice of old earth. Absolutely. Your subconscious has access to all your memories. But what we are moving into in new earth is a state of being. It is not accessing what once was, although you will go through what once was to get into the presence of what is now, because it all exists simultaneously. All that is happening is already happening. You just meet yourself at that point of what is happening. So I hope that this has found resonance. Just in speaking there, so much has been opening. My face is on fire right now, and I'm not hot actually, but I feel like I have a fever in my face. So this truth has been breaking down some barriers in the perception of some of those that were receiving. It might have even triggered you. If it did, good. I hope it did. That means that there was something there that you were perceiving that was not aligned to your highest point of being. If you're triggered, then that shows you the reflection of what you were holding back to you. If you feel triggered, then you realize, oh, I was holding a perception that was projecting something, and I just received that projection back to myself. That's what a trigger is. You just received your own projection back. And the light, the truth, illuminates that which you were projecting and brings it back to you so that you can see it, heal it, and feel it, right? Healing comes through feeling. So I don't express from a place that denies unification of others. I express from a place of the unification of others happens from the unification of self. We can only ever meet others where we've met ourselves. And if we first do not understand our own levels of mastery, then how can we bring anything into a group? How can we, and even if you're joining a ton of groups, if you're connecting them with a ton of people and you have not yet taken the time to be in the presence of oneness within yourself, how do you know what's yours? This is a question I ask everyone all the time. How do you know what's yours? Where is your sovereignty? Like, what is yours? What is yours within the information, within the web of information that you are always receiving? And I know, yes, people go into meditation. We go into meditation every single day. We dial in. But if you're still projecting, even in meditation, you can project. And so this is where mastery comes in. being able to understand that we can still project, even in the astral etheric, we can still project what we think our relationship with others are. We can still project what we think our role is. That is why initiation is so important. Initiation gives us aspects, or gives us access to ourselves beyond the confines of projection. Initiation is going to say, you come into these frequencies, all that you are within these frequencies will be reflected back to you. Okay? This is why there are those like myself and others that are here as key code masters, that are here as triadic masters, and we are here to assist if you will allow us. But if you feel that the only way that you can find yourself, and I'm not saying that you find yourself through me. No, I am just an illumination of what I am. And I invite you to be in that illumination with me. I do it with you. I'm not standing up and saying, you learn this through me, and if you learn this through me, then you're now in a better place, and here's your reward, right? And I don't do that. I move through the initiation with you, and everything in my group is a progression. It is not one singular thing. It is whatever is here now for the initiation of the soul. Whatever is here now for the initiation of new earth. Whatever is here now for your mastery. And that's what comes through. That's it. And whatever this is all encompassing. It is everything. Those that have been with me for a while now, it's long term. It's meant to be. It's meant to be. Well, Andrea, I would say this: we're all empaths. Empathic through the heart. When you are an empath, you carry a connection which gives you, yes, you're going to be feeling into everything. I know that. I understand that. As an empath myself, I feel what everyone feels. Even though I am in a state of consciousness and I bring through what is here through consciousness, I still feel through my senses. And yet there is always the path to mastery is very direct. There are a million different ways. We're never disconnected, but your path to mastery is what is defined within your signature resonance. And the path to mastery is always going to be through frequency. We always find ourselves through frequency. Rays of light are our mastery. That is the way it is in every realm, in every dimension, in every experience. Your rays of mastery are your rays of mastery. And what you have mastered is what you have mastered. There's so much information out there that people get caught up in information. They are taking in all they can all the time. And what I request of those in my group is don't take in the information. I want you to feel what's here now. Whatever's here now is going to tell you whatever you need. And that's not whatever's here now in connection with a million different people. That's in connection with what's here for you, what's in your pillar, what is speaking to you through your all-knowing self. That is your most powerful presence. And in this new earth, all of our senses are activated. That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm glad you said that, Andrea. I want to speak into that. That's the thing. Our clair senses, everyone's coming into their clairs. Everyone that is going to move through dimensionality at this point, higher dimensionality, is going to access their clairs. But there is something beyond the clairs, and that is consciousness. Consciousness is the one true reality. The clairs are tapped into the mind, right? The mind gives us access to what we experience. Yet we are shifting out of the mind giving us access to what we experience into the heart, giving us access to what we are. When we access what we are based on what we have mastered, along with what we have agreed to master in this lifetime, then we start moving in ascension through the pillar of light. We are not taking in what is in our environment. We are taking in what's coming through our central channel. There is a difference. Many people are taking in what's in their environment. They're taking in what's coming in through the senses. They're taking in what's coming in through the psychic connection. It needs to be turned inward. and bringing in what's coming in through your pillar, what's coming in through your central channel. There is a different connection there. It doesn't mean you don't feel anything anymore, and it doesn't mean that you don't use your senses, but you guide your senses into a point of connection that is beyond the mind. So the mind is then now connected into a higher state. And you begin to use your free will choice from a place of understanding that there's only one reality and there's only one choice. The one choice is to connect into the one reality, which is consciousness. When you make that choice, then you are initiated through your pillar of light, and all frequencies that were agreed to be mastered through your templates of light drop in, and you move through that initiation. Most people think they know what that is until they receive from one that has already been through that stage of initiation. They're like, oh, like I hear that all the time. I hear that all the time. I really thought I knew what you were saying until I experienced it in my own template activation. It is very different. And for those we hear the word consciousness so much that we think we know what that means to be in consciousness. We think we know what it means. The initiation into ranges of consciousness are I can tell you, like I used last year up until this year, I thought I knew. I talked about like I brought through so much, and I thought I knew. I really thought I knew. Like, gosh, you could go back and see my posts, and the way that I post a year ago compared to now, you can feel it. You can see it. There is a difference. That difference was I let go of what I thought I knew. I don't know anything. What I do know is what I have mastered. That's the only thing I can speak to you about. I speak to you about what I have mastered. And that is the only place I can speak to you from, because I can't, it would make no sense for me to bring something through that I have yet not myself been through or mastered. And when you speak from a place of egoic projection, of thinking, you know, gosh, I felt it so clearly. I was like, I can't, no wonder people weren't wanting to come to me. No wonder, like they wanted to, but at the same time, I could tell my clientele changed too. The clients I was receiving from then were always projecting, like consistently needing information, needing to project, and when I shifted and I created my group space, and it began with mastery of self, like self-mastery, and it's grown. I mean, self-mastery is the basis, and then light mastery, and then initiation into the body of light, or activation into the body of light, initiation into the body of light, embodiment of the body of light. So there are layers to the group itself. There are layers, and when you make a choice to meet yourself in all the different layers of what you were able to master in this realm, the tone is different. It is not about, you know, information. Those in my group can tell you, I don't drop in information all the time. When I have notes to share, what comes through now, I share it because it has to do with what we are being initiated through. And then we move through that initiation. It's all about whatever is here in that range of tones, in that range of light rays. And that those ranges of light are there for everyone in the space, and we do it together. So we are mastering together, along with what we have already mastered. So each of us carry those specific tones of mastery. But the templates, when you come into a template exchange, it is different. It is different. That's the only thing I can say. If you exchange from a template of mastery, key code mastery activations, which is what I offer, it is different. And it's felt different and unlocks a lot more. That's because that's what you agreed to receive, and that's what you agreed to be activated within. That's what I agreed to bring through. That's what I agreed to offer, right? That it all has to do with what we agree to, where we are in our soul evolution. And it's not that we don't all have access to everything. We do. Everyone has access to all the information right now. Everyone. We can all access the Akash. It's open game because the Akash of the old earth is shifting. We are no longer, we're accessing all we need to know right now. All we need to know right now. So that we can come into mastery. We can understand from what the psychic senses perceive and the presence of being through the pillar of light. We master that, we master this, we master both, okay? So we must first move their different ranges. The psychic senses come online, we connect into the psychic senses, we connect into the need to know. That's what everybody goes through. And I am burning alive from the inside, just so you guys know from expressing all this right now. We access the need to know. And then from the need to know, we start to rest in the presence of all knowing, which no longer needs to know. It no longer senses from the environment. This is why we move through it's why everything that I bring through is over a specific amount of, like, not specific, but a long amount of time. Why time is incorporated to honor the presence of what is here through how we are moving. Right? We move through the ranges, we move through the frequencies, we come into a connection point. It is very, very specific and yet not specific. Each and every time it's different, but we go through we go through pathways. Each and every time you guys move through a transmission, and the transmissions I bring through each and every time are honoring that which you can receive. What is the capacity of those receiving? And that's what I bring through. But we go through the process. Everything is a process. And I see where people are getting caught up with all that they know, right? All the things that are coming in through the telepathy. And they're getting bogged with the telepathy. They're getting hit, they're getting all these downloads, all these insights, all these downloads, which is part of the process. And once you move through that, the next wave is being in the presence, and you're no longer getting hit. Like, you still get upgrades, you still get downloads, of course, but it happens in a slightly different way. It happens in waves in a slightly different way. When you agree to the initiation, you are agreeing to move through your mastery in a very specific set of templates, which you agreed upon, which is exactly what your soul has declared is necessary for your evolution, not only for mastery from the human, but mastery for the light, which you have the capacity to bring through in your soul evolution for your higher dimensional embodiment, whatever that is in this lifetime, and expanding your multiversal self. So it's all encompassing. And your all-knowing self is always present, but it's not through the psychic. Your all-knowing self is your embodiment of consciousness. And consciousness in this realm, because just because you've mastered ranges of consciousness and other selves, you agreed to master this self. So in this embodiment of consciousness, you move through the process, you move through what you have placed in front of yourself, you agree to the template, so you come online through layers of light, and those layers of light give you access to the next layer of your all-knowing self, and the next layer of your all-knowing self, which is another layer of that consciousness, another layer of that dimensionality, and another layer. So there is a difference in accessing through the first layer of empathy, which is giving us access to the heart and the mind and coherence based on what we are accessing in our environment and how we take that in internally. And then we shift into being in an internal initiation through consciousness and the embodiment of it, which is a different state. And this is a choice. It is not, the reason why I say it is a choice, and the reason why we work with masters that are here, the scene masters, those that are here, that are bringing it through, is because that was agreed upon. You work with masters in other realms. Anytime you're moving through mastery and dimensionality, whether it's ninth dimension, seventh dimension, 12th dimension, you have a set of council masters, members, key code masters that are guiding you. This happens with all of us. We are always guided by those who have already mastered those rays. It is no different in this realm. So yes, we have access to all the information, but we also have those that are here with those templates of mastery that are here for the purpose of ascension of this planet and the collective. It does not mean that those that carry those specific masters are greater or better or have any act. It just is about where you are in your evolution, where you chose to master based on where they chose to master. And because there are so many masters of so many rays that are available through the scene in this incarnate time, we have access to those rays that maybe we had not mastered, and we can actually move through initiations within that give us the access of those ranges within fifth dimensional consciousness, because fifth dimension is a range of consciousness. Fifth dimension, sixth dimension, these are all levels of consciousness that you move through. And each level of consciousness has its main overlighting theme. And it's not about what you know. It's about what you can embody through that overlighting theme. That is your point of mastery. It has nothing to do with what you know. It has everything to do with the presence of the vibration that you are initiated within. And when you are initiated within that range of frequency for that embodiment of consciousness, you carry that frequency of mastery. So this is why I am declaring and expressing and going into the little extra point on this channeling, is to allow everyone to understand right now spiritual intelligence is that, and will and power are the two main that we are moving through. My group right now is moving through will and power, because this must be mastered, where we understand that where we are and what we are embodying and what we are bringing through is understood through the presence of our initiation, but we do not project that onto others. We express that truth like I am declaring now. I'm expressing what is here now, and that's what's here now. That's what's here now through this range of initiation. And that's the overlighting theme of that range, or that ray of light. And that ray of light, that range, that is our point of mastery. Once we have mastered that, we will move into the next range of consciousness mastery with that theme of mastery. And these are all requirements for embodiment and dimensional consciousness. And I know that others are going to, I know others are aware of this at this time. I'm not for sure to what degree, but it's there where we bring in different aspects of channeling and different messages and different frequencies and different currents. That's one aspect of what we bring through. If you want to bring in the fullness of it, if you want to talk about filling up your pillar of light, or being in the fullness of your pillar of light, you are in the fullness of what you are. The presence, the vibration, the frequency, the signature resonance, that's your pillar of light. And in order for you to bring that through, again, you must master that. It's not a role, it's a presence of being. A role would be like a gatekeeper, a code keeper, wisdom keeper. Those are roles within a state of consciousness. So I hope that this has brought in some clarity and some truth. And I know that it's natural to want to kind of push back to that, because this message declares it's going to ask you to rise into a different aspect of yourself, a higher aspect of yourself, maybe an aspect that you have not visited with yet. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it through my group. I'm just letting people know what I offer in case you feel called to step in. It doesn't mean that I am the only one by any means, but it means that there are those out there that offer this, and that is a very, very powerful point of presence if you answer it. I was in denial of even speaking this for so long because people get triggered. People are thinking it's from ego, and it's not. It's just, I can only tell you what is mastered. I can only tell you the mastery that I carry, and I can only tell you the master key codes that I carry, because that's what I'm here. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to provide. And together, we join together, and we do this together. I'm not, like I said, I'm not teaching anything by any means. I am there with you. We do it together. Thank you guys for sharing the beautiful reflection of the numbers. And even in expressing this right now, my entire everything up here is on fire. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to bring this through today because I've been moving through so much. And my throat chakra, my third eye, my crown, everything. And it's still right now, there's so much moving and opening. And I have like a fever, but it's that internal fever. The rest of me is fine. But all of this right here is on fire because when truth is expressed through pure truth, which means it carries no projection, then we go through the flames of what's called the rite of passage. It's an initiation. When we are able to surrender to the one truth that we are here to be in a state of pure consciousness, that we are mastering that state of pure consciousness, then that is what we are here to bring through. But at the same time, there are different layers to that. And each and every one of you is going to answer that call to whatever degree you have agreed to. I would say if you feel called to be in the fullness of that agreement, please reach out, whether it's in a one-on-one or a group space, most notably the group space, because this is what we do. And I'm now connecting in with other groups and bringing what we are into these other groups, so that this presence of vibration, this presence of embodiment can be felt, so that there can be a connection point between what has been picked up in the outer, and when that outer connects with what is inner through the inner pillar, like what is here in the inner pillar, what the byproduct kind of sounds like. You're on a like a I don't know, that sounds weird, but I'm being asked. So the byproduct of what you are through such an initiation, through a long-term agreement to be in the initiation of the states of consciousness. And it's a very powerful place to be. It really, really is. Everyone is in a very powerful place to be. But I can tell you from where I am in this state of initiation, I can tell you right now, it truly, truly is. Thank you guys. Thank you for witnessing. Thank you for receiving. Whew, I am fully depleted now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything for the next few days, you guys. This was a lot that came through today. A lot more than I thought I was going to be able to bring through. So thank you. Thank you for receiving. I still have to go through some upgrades. For those of you guys that I told you about the one-on-ones, I feel like those are probably going to be tentative. This took everything I had to bring this through. And this is very, as you guys know, this is a very different level than what I bring through in one-on-ones. So we're just going to leave it tentative right now. Because I'm still going through the fires of this initiation. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys that are here. I'm so, so very grateful. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. And I want you all to know that I witness each and every one of you. When I express these initiations, it is a point of awareness that is asked to be brought through from my pillar of light in recognition of what is available, what is here, and the opportunity that is bestowed upon each of you, that is available through each of you. Everything in this realm. One last point. We're talking about fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is about the embodiment of consciousness and not about what is in the environment that we are picking up on. Then we must understand that in order for us to move through and into higher dimensionality, then we must move through the ranges of consciousness if dimensionality is consciousness, because consciousness is the only reality. It is the only dimensionality is consciousness, just different ranges of it. So it's not about the all-knowing out here. It's about the initiation and the mastery of the all-knowing activated self in here. So I want you guys to sit with that. If you are taking in a bunch of different information from a bunch of different platforms and a bunch of different people, I would really invite you to take a break. Take a break. Be okay with not being connected in through the physical all the time, and connect in through the pillar not through the psyche, but through the pillar. If you allow yourself to do this, then you will begin to perceive that which is in a different way. It it is different. That's the best way I just really can't put it in words. So sorry. Hang on. I would like for you, it's just an invitation. It doesn't mean you disconnect yourself completely. It doesn't mean you don't go and you don't receive and you don't receive what you have agreed to receive. But when you are not in the presence of that agreement, when you're not tapped into maybe a group that you're a part of and you're not receiving from a transmission, when you're not, tapped into receiving from your job or whatever, please be in the presence of your channel. Please be in your pillar of light. Please do not be spending your time. If you feel like you have to be connected to your phone, if you feel like you have to be connected to social media in order to be connected to your business, you don't. Your business isn't through social media and your business isn't through technology. Your business is your presence, and your presence happens through you. You declare when everything is happening, because it's already happening. You should not be controlled by what is outside of you. Please allow yourself to disconnect and recalibrate. We spend so much time, even on the spiritual path, so dialed in, so tapped in to what's right here, that we don't come to, maybe we spend in meditation, but the rest of the time we're going, we're doing, we're going, we're doing. We're not in the presence of being. Consciousness is not doing. Consciousness is just presence. It is just a presence, an awareness. It is a state of being, not of doing. This is why I'm again, initiation of consciousness is asking you to be continuously in the presence of being and disconnecting from doing and connecting into so many outlets of doing that you only know what doing brings, that you only know what the connection of all the things that you are connected into bring back to you. So you actually have all of your tentacles out here, instead of in here and reaching up and in here and reaching down like the tree of life. Instead of having your roots and your branches reaching up and drinking from the realms of consciousness, you're out here and you're trying to grab everything that you can all the time from everyone that you can, and you're just trying to receive. You're trying to receive. You need more, you need more, you need to know more, you need to know from this person because this person has got this many followers and this part, you know what I'm saying? Like, disconnect. When you disconnect, you don't separate. You just come back into you. You allow yourself to be in the presence of your own light for once. Those of you that have known me for a while, my group, those of you that have worked with me one-on-one, if I am not at 100, if I everything is pushed out, I push everything out. I push everything out until we can all come together in a space of being unified, where we meet ourselves in the exact moment that we agreed to meet ourselves on a higher level, not based on what a schedule says we should do. Right now, I'm not in a state to meet everyone directly one-on-one in that capacity. I know that. I wanted to bring this message through to just to see what I could do. And it still is definitely not at 100% at all. But it is at enough to where I can share, and I can share what is here now. And in so doing, it is transmuting and breaking down. And I'm sharing with you guys, I'm giving, and I'm expressing, and I'm inviting you in, and we are together, and we are expressing. And then after this, I'm going to back away, and I'm just going to disconnecting from this. But I'm always with you guys. When we are in the light, we are never separate. And that doesn't mean that we feel each other throughout here. We're always present here. Not through the word love, because love is a definition. This has no definition. It has no word. It's a feeling. It's a vibration. And that feeling, to be known in its purest state, must be experienced again and 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 again, infinitely through that state of initiation. That's initiation, through feeling, where you're brought into the frequencies of feeling again and again and again and again until you break into the next range of frequencies, and then you go again and again and again, and you break through again. That is an initiation of consciousness. And each and every time you're experiencing yourself in a higher state of light. Not light as we know it, but ranges of frequency. That's what light is. Light is ranges of frequency, ranges of sound, ranges of vibration. They're currents. So in order for you to know yourself, I invite you to know yourself, please. Not what someone else has told you. Even what I say here today, I want you to take what resonates and leave the rest. You don't need to take it as your truth. It is the truth that I know through what I have mastered. But if you find resonance in it, sit in the spaces where you find resonance and see what is here for me. What is here for me? Because there's something here for me that I need to sit with. There's something here for me that I need to be with. Because when you are with it, you understand it. And you sit with it for as long as it takes. And you allow it to expand and engulf you, and just you lose yourself in it. And even when we connect in with guides, I want you to know that we can still project what we think our guides are here for. We're so tapped into the information system that we know the stories of the Akash and the stories of what we have, what we have received through guides in the presence of maybe timelines or teachings. There is no teaching that is connected into Ascended Masters. I want everyone to understand that. Ascended Masters are coming through based on what's here now. What's here now is not in a book. What's here now is not in a certificate. It's not in anything. It's what's here now in frequency. And whatever you need to receive in what's here now, you will receive in what's here now. You will feel it. You might not always see it. You won't see it, more than likely. You'll feel it and you'll hear it. And I feel like this is a requirement for the majority. So everything that's been spoken here has been continuously opening, activating the pillar of light. It has been opening up the wing space. It has been opening up the heart. It has been opening up the throat. It has been opening up the sinus cavity, the pineal, pituitary, all the glands. Everything has been continuously activated and releasing as I have been speaking. So, if this has challenged you in some form, if you have felt, well, I kind of agree, but at the same time, if you felt resistance to something, see why. Because that's you're resistant because you're not in acceptance. And if you're not in acceptance, even if you don't know it through that specific terminology or that specific wording, you can find resonance in there if you surrender to the frequency. Because everything right now I'm saying is frequency. It's not words. The words, if you get caught up in the words, then you're going to lose yourself. Allow yourself to feel what is being said. Allow it to land. Allow yourself to land in it and find yourself there in that resonant point. I thank you all again for letting me express this truth and letting me to channel all that is here. As always, as stated, when we are channeling, it's called light language. And thank you. I saw your messages earlier. I'm really grateful that you decided to hang in there, even though you had no clue what was happening. That's called channeling light. Everything is sound, everything is frequency, everything is vibration. So even though we have words for things that we see, what we know, like what a tree is, even if someone says the word tree in Japanese and you don't know Japanese, they could show you a picture of a tree. You'd know that's a tree because you've seen it. Expressions of light is sounds of frequency. The open expression, using the vocal cords to express pure tones of light, using the hands to further anchor it in. Everything that we do in this realm is based on what we sense, what we perceive, what we feel, and what we can express. So when we tap into what's coming through this channel, that pillar of light I'm speaking about, then we can connect into it by just simply feeling. If you connect in, it's an expression that goes beyond the mind. It doesn't have a definition. It's not meant to have a definition. We are limited by definition. That's why you have one language for one culture and another language for another culture and another language for another culture and another belief for one culture and another belief for another culture. That's limited. That's separation. Togetherness is in the ability to surrender to the feeling of the frequency and just allowing yourself to be and flow and look silly and express. That's the creator. That's true creatorship. And it also goes beyond ego. It's just an expression of frequency. And in its purest form, frequency has no identification. It is felt. It is not identified as love. It's not identified as grief. It's not identified as joy. It's just expressed. And however that feels, however it is openly able to be expressed through you, you express it. And I guarantee you, if you allow yourself to ever do that, you will never feel the same. You will never feel the same. It truly transforms your state of being, because that is what it's meant to do. So I am very, very grateful that you stayed around and received, because you were intrigued. Very grateful that you chose. So that's all that I have, you guys. I'm getting to where I'm not going to be able to speak much longer. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to rest. And for those of you guys, I don't remember how many that are here. I know some of you are here that I have one-on-ones with coming up. I am definitely going to postpone those. Probably for at least a few more days. And I will let you know as soon as I am of capacity to bring those blueprints and templates through, because you guys are actually, the reason why it's being pushed out is you guys are receiving an upgrade to your templates, because we're all going through upgrades right now. So in order for everything to come through in its completeness, everything has to be, we have to meet ourselves there. So allowing ourselves to meet ourselves there in physical time is a necessity. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all so very much. This has been 21122. This has been okay, I thought we had all the numbers lined up there, but it's 7, not 8. Thank you guys for receiving this today. I wanted to drop in everything that I could at the capacity at which I was able, because it's probably going to be a few days or longer before I'm able to again. Some of the sensations really quickly that might be experienced post-integration, there was a ton of expansion in the wing space. As stated, when I was expressing those gang signs. Oh, light gang signs. I'm going to start using that. The light gang signs. As I was expressing the light gang signs and connecting in to the points, like I said, they were all moving into, so just so everyone knows, everything was pulling from the heart portal out into the, okay, I'm gonna have to make this short, out into the astral etheric. So every single one of you that received this agreed to receive a higher expansion of yourself. Your pillar of light is expanding. It is making room and making way for the ability for you to receive yourself in a higher presence of being. And these points that were activated and connected are going to be rearranging the molecular. I'm hearing for the next 2 weeks from the streets of light. From the 444, from the 777. And this expansion is going to, you guys are awesome. It's creating some upheaval in the molecular, of course. Everything must rearrange in plasmic formation. If you have received templates of higher consciousness activation, if you've received these activations through me on a personal level, meaning on an individual level, you're more apt to feel this more intensely. Of course, you guys in my group space, I already know, we've been going through it. Like that's a given. Your ability to expand into the connection points depends on that which you have agreed to. There was an agreement stated in this exchange, and then there's other agreements that are layered in like on that, basically. So you're going to meet yourself in those connection points as much as you're able. For some, you're going to really feel it. It does. Oh, you guys, I'm really glad that person hung out, because I was amazing. It's really awesome to have someone that has never been like that has never been infiltrated into this type of, integration, that hung around and was like, what is this? What is this? What is this gibberish happening? Like, I can't look away. It's like a train wreck that I can't leave, right? Let me have more. Let me be a part of this train wreck that I have no clue is what's happening. But that's the magnetism of light. And that's the intriguing part of it, is actually your soul recognizing that there is something here for you. And it pulls you in, even though you don't know what it is. That's the power of light. It's very, very awesome. And I'm really grateful for that person, and hopefully they'll come back for more. But for those of you that are carrying these templates that have been activated through an exchange, through my master key codes, I can tell you right now, you're going to be experiencing an expansion of the wing space, a major expansion of the wing space, a major expansion of the higher heart and heart. This portal that was activated, these octaves were new downloads for me. Not the fullness of them hasn't come through because I'm not at a capacity to bring them through, but I brought them through the degree at which I could, and I've been receiving them, and they're extremely large, like when I'm talking about expansion, I mean like expansion, like it's big. So when I mean, when you're coming into a higher awareness of yourself, it's not through what you know. You're going to be receiving aspects of self that drop in, but these will be remembrances. It's not going to be information. I don't know how to better word that. Information is psychic based. Wisdom is frequency based. They are still part of the same creatorship. Everything is source, but information still holds separation through identification, where wisdom is in the presence of being. The throat, I can't tell you how much is being burned up here. There is so much of the veil that was disintegrating, and there was so much that's being burned up right through here. The third eye, another portal popped open. So there's a lot that's happening through here. However that happens for you, the sensations, you might have inflammation, you might have tenderness, you might have a sore throat. For me, the entire throat chakra has been expanding and inflamed, as well as congestion, ear popping, massive ear popping all the time. And I'm just so grateful. Alex, that was with me on Instagram earlier, dropped in and helped me move through it. But ascension sensations last until they don't last any longer. The points that I felt were very, very powerful. I'm not really for sure. In the spine, in the spinal column, there were points of activation that were unlocked. So I felt it elongate. You might have some pain in the spine, in the lower back, in the shoulder blades. So you guys in my group space, I know you're already feeling that. Please, please, please. I know if it intensifies, please allow yourself to just surrender. Go outside, walk, movement. Movement is going to be important because you're going to need to, these are really, really, really intense current. Hang on, you guys. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's been happening to a lot recently. Like in my group space where because what's happening is we're moving between astral etheric and guiding everyone in between, from the inner to the outer, from the outer to the inner, and we're going from electric magnetic currents into light magnetic currents, which hold a different range of frequencies. Consciousness, higher dimensional consciousness, comes in through light magnetic. It doesn't come in through electric magnetic. Electric magnetic is the mind. Light magnetic is consciousness. Everything is frequency. So that's why I say, when you're accessing through electric magnetic currents of information, it is very, very different than light magnetic. It is very different. Both are part of creatorship, but creatorship is understanding itself through two different avenues. And when you come into light magnetic, you have all that is in the electric magnetic that has been brought into light magnetic, which means it's transitioned from one point of understanding to another point of understanding. So your state of awareness has shifted from electric to light. So if you're not used to it, then you will go in and out of consciousness. because that's what's happening. I'm moving you guys actually in and out of ranges of consciousness, because everything that I bring through is based on consciousness and frequencies of embodied consciousness. So you will move through, and everyone receives it differently, depending on your ability to receive a level of consciousness at any degree. It doesn't mean that you have to go in and out, but if you're dialed in, if you have been activated, then that's very, very normal right now. Especially, Irene, you've received through me a lot one-on-ones. That template is active, and in order, I would definitely recommend you guys, the one thing I would recommend so that you can really dial in to, no, don't fight it. Don't fight it. Let yourself go out if you need to go out, because that's the only way that you can actually come into your astral etheric connection, is to be in the state of consciousness, which means if that state of consciousness cannot be in an embodied form, you're going to go out of physical and purely into astral etheric. That's why I am saying, you guys, receiving these templates of light magnetic so that you can embody the consciousness, so that you can actually be in the presence of receivership. It doesn't mean that you're not going to go in and out, but you'll begin to get to where you won't go out, because you'll be embodying that range of consciousness. So when I say receiving the templates, is a necessity, it is, because you would need to receive it in a direct one-on-one, to receive that range of templates, so that, well, actually, honestly, one-on-ones, yes, but I'm telling, like, I cannot overstate this. If you go through the initiation, then you are receiving all the templates and all the layers which give you the state of embodiment that is necessary. What I've noticed is happening in my group is now that they go out for a second and they come back in. They'll go out for a second and they'll come back in, whereas they used to go out completely. So what's happening is they're going out, they're connecting, and they're coming back in. They go out for a second until they connect, and they come back in. And that's where they're moving into because they've been activated and they are able to embody. Now, everyone has this capacity, but in order for you to know the capacity and to receive it, you must be in the ranges of frequency and in the template agreement, because everything is based in agreement. Everything. That's why we have free will choice. That's why we have sovereign free will choice. Whatever you choose to do is whatever you end up experiencing. And whatever you choose to do is an agreement. And that agreement holds frequency. So whatever you're choosing to take in the most is where you're going to be the most dialed in. So, but I am really, really excited to be connecting in with more groups that bring in different templates, where we can all bring in our templates, like JJ's activation, her Nexus group. Those of you guys that are in the Nexus group, I'll be seeing you guys the week of June 14th. That's coming up very soon. So I'm very, very excited to be co-facilitating with JJ and with a lot of the grid workers in that community. As Alex stated earlier, in our Mount Shasta resort or retreat coming up, I'm very much looking forward to co-creating and bringing through everything there with those that are facilitating. So, or at least at the level at which I am invited to do so. I'm still not sure exactly what that's going to be, even if it's holding space. Then, so what we were discussing is what we're bringing through is the presence of what is here for those that choose to go through the long-term process, which is it's a long way around, as JJ says. It is the long way around, but it's the process of mastery, the full process of embodiment and initiation. And it's basically a continual evolution of one space, which is what you are. You're a continual evolution of you. And so everything in this group is based around that. And I'm really, really excited to bring what we are in our embodiment into what is there in the presence of the Nexus group, and everything that is coming through that phase of mastery for that group. Very excited to see you there, Irene. And all that we're going to co-create and bring through together. And I'm very, very interested and excited to see how that's going to be, because this is the first time that, as JJ says it, two blobs come together in this way, like in the way that we have been guided to co-facilitate. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting. So if any of you guys feel called to bring yourself into a higher state of mastery, meaning you're going through the whole stages of initiation of your soul, then please reach out, because that is going to bring you through all the initiations and the levels of consciousness, the levels of consciousness. So bringing you through the initiations of actually the full embodiment of your fifth density, fifth dimensional self, which is all the ranges of consciousness that are necessary to fully embody the light magnetic frequencies that are what we are in our light body form. So that's it for me today, you guys. I'm out. I love you guys so much. I could sit here and talk to you forever. Thank you for allowing me to express. Thank you for dropping in what you felt called to express, as I am always open to receiving your truth. And thank you for allowing me to expand on that truth which I was called to expand on. I always, always, always want you to take what resonates and leave the rest. Thank you, my friends. I love you, my dearest soul family. You all are each very precious to me. I could not do this without you. We never do it alone. We are always together. Always, always, always. There is no separation in the pillar of light. There cannot be. There cannot be. That is where we are unified. So I look forward to connecting with each of you soon in the other group. If any of you feel called to join our group of initiation, please reach out on Instagram, Facebook Messenger, if you're here through Facebook, whatever it is. If you're interested in just seeing what it's like to work with me, you can also book a one-on-one and receive light magnetic template activations, which are your beginning templates of your divine blueprint. So those come in layers. So just letting you know, one doesn't give you access to everything. That's why I recommend the group, because that's continual. You're going to get that continual. Just a little bit cheaper for a long-term process. So love you guys. Until next time, Adonai.